Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on this Tuesday, the 9th of April. And we are setting up in the Northeast for the best weather day of the week because you can already see that there are changes on the way as we have clouds spreading across the lower Ohio Valley and throughout the Tennessee Valley and in the south. The blow-ups of heavy rain and severe weather the next couple of days are going to be big severe weather days across the south and eventually along the southeast and even into the mid-Atlantic. We have a new storm that's developing in Texas. Weather in the west is mostly quiet and not really a whole lot going on. A little bit of activity up in the northwest. The northern plains looks fairly good, and we've got a little bit of action with cloud cover moving into the western lakes. But at least the northeast looks nice today. And as we check the radars, there's nothing to worry about from Maine down into Virginia. But then when we look across the south, we've got a band of moderate to heavy rain developing across South Carolina, western North Carolina, westward through northern Georgia and Alabama, through Tennessee, back through Arkansas. And then, at least this morning, we're seeing the beginnings of some heavy thunderstorms and very heavy rain. Some flash flood warnings have already been issued there. We also have some rough weather going on in northwest Texas with some showers and thunderstorms, a little bit of light action through the northwest, as well as in the northern Great Lakes. The WPC, as far as rainfall is concerned, because really across the country, except for a few odd spots in the Northwest Mountains, it's all rain that we're dealing with here. And this is the 7 day rainfall forecast. Much of this is in regards to the system that's coming out of the Gulf states. So that covers pretty much most, if not all, of the precipitation that we're going to see in the next week. And we've already seen rains across the south. So this is in addition to what's already fallen. And we've got a band of 5 to 7 inch rains being indicated by the Weather Prediction Center in areas from northern Louisiana into northern and northwestern Mississippi. Inch and a half rains extend into South and Carolina and western North Carolina. And then across the Ohio Valley, particularly the northern Ohio Valley through the northeast, we're looking at anywhere from an inch to some areas of as much as 2 inches of rainfall, and that'll be coming with this developing storm. The SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, and this is the forecast for today. We have today and tonight a slight to enhanced risk of severe weather across much of Texas into Louisiana. And there's an area of enhanced risk here, which comes with elevated tornado risk, a 5 to 10% risk of tornadoes. And in that hatched area, you see in southeast Texas into Louisiana, we have an area where it's indicated that there is risk for EF2 to EF5 tornadoes. And the severe weather risk gets even larger tomorrow. We have a moderate risk of severe weather across southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi into Alabama, slight risk that pushes up into southern Tennessee, marginal risk up into Kentucky. And that comes with a 10 to 15% tornado risk. And that also covers the risk for EF2s to EF5 strength tornadoes. And when we move on to day three, and this is for Thursday into Friday, slight risk in Ohio to northeastern Kentucky and parts of western West Virginia and a small portion of western Pennsylvania. We also have a slight risk being indicated for much of eastern North Carolina, down to the southern half of Georgia, into northern portions of Florida that extend back into the Panhandle. And I think that this is also going to be coming with elevated tornado risk. And as far as snow is concerned, over the next 72 hours, so this takes us to Friday morning, just a few small areas up in the northwest where we have some slightly elevated probabilities for up to a couple of inches, really nothing of consequence because we really don't have any cold air around. So a nice day today across the Northeast and into the Mid-Atlantic states. We'll see 70s for many areas. This will be the warmest weather we've seen since back last October, and we will have a good deal of sunshine. But there's your developing low in East Texas. with the heavy rains, potential for severe weather developing late today and tonight, and again during the day tomorrow. The area starts to shift a little bit further to the east as the low strengthens. Now, initially, there'll be an onshore flow tomorrow, and there's also going to be a bit of a warm front that's probably going to set up somewhere across New Jersey into Pennsylvania. So if you're south and west of that warm front, you'll probably have some breaks of sun and temperatures getting into the 70s. If you're north and east of that warm front, it's likely to be cloudy or becoming cloudy with temperatures basically in the 50s to around 60. The storm is going to become more organized as we go through Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday night. You see the low center in southeast Oklahoma starts to move to the northeast into southern Illinois. Uh, in the east on Thursday, you'll notice a lot of isobars there, so the gradient's going to be tightening. We're going to have to deal with increasing southerly winds, particularly Thursday night into Friday morning as the low moves into northern Indiana and then into the lower lakes. So we're going to get into some rain late Thursday and then some heavy rain and maybe some thunderstorms Thursday night into Friday as the low really wraps up. It's going to be quite windy in much of the eastern part of the United States. So I expect to see wind advisories and maybe even some high wind watches going up before too long for Thursday night and Friday. The cold front will come through sometime during the day Friday. The winds will turn westerly. It'll continue to remain windy. We'll have some leftover showers around. Probably we'll start to see some improvement on Saturday, and that may wind up being a little bit better than Sunday because there's another upper trough coming through the Great Lakes. And I think there's a chance that we could see showers hold off until late in the day Sunday, but there'll probably be some shower activity Sunday night into Monday morning before we see that front push on to the south. And then it turns a little bit on the chilly side for the first part of next week. So tonight we've got the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast. And we are going to be, of course, covering all of this the severe weather in the south, the late week wind and rain for the east, and letting you know when nice weather comes back and we get out of the gloom and doom. So enjoy the rest of your very, very nice Tuesday, and we'll see you tonight at 7:35 p.m. Eastern.